I said, baby, I just want you back, and I want you to stay. Oh, yeah, I'm walking on sunshine. Whoa, I'm walking on sunshine. Whoa.
And welcome back again. You're listening to Breakthrough Entertainment live on 1480 AM KPHX in Phoenix, Arizona. I'm Dave. Joseph left the building. Eric behind the glass. And we got special guest just before we announce our very special guest calling in. Joining us right now is my daughter, my oldest daughter, Kimberly Isaac. Almost forgot Emery, Kimberly Isaac Emery. See, because I knew you were married. I remember that distinctly, and I do. Yeah. Go ahead. And of course, RDI consultant. Why don't you give a little brief background?
Sure.
And then we will bring on our other guest.
Yes. My name is Kim Isaac Emery, and I am an autism specialist, and I specialize in working with families who have children of all ages on the spectrum, actually, from young children to adult children.
And it's real appropriate because joining us right now on the phone is singer-songwriter Genevieve Goings, best known as the host of Disney Junior Channel's Choo Soul. Genevieve, how are you?
I'm wonderful. How are you?
We are great. It's such a pleasure to have you on.
I've mine.
Well, I've heard your songs. You have a great voice and just a great personality.
Thank you so much. Oh my goodness.
Yeah,
I'm a real ride here. I've been singing for kids for 10 years now.
Well,
and for grown-ups.
Which is really cool because it just shows you have compassion, in my opinion, compassion, heart, and soul to do things for little kids educationally and really entertain them and leave a mark on their life for the best life they can have.
Oh, well, thank you. That's definitely what I strive for. And, it's some sort of trying to cross the lines, blur the lines of entertainment and education. We kind of have to, we slip it in there.
Yeah,
the fun.
Yeah, there's no doubt. And before, I know we're going to, a little later on, get into your concert that you will be giving for those on the autism spectrum. And then, of course, let me introduce you to my daughter, Kimberly, who's one of the top, what do we call you, the top consultants, therapists in the nation in autism.
Wow. Nice to meet you.
It's very nice to meet you, too.
So we're going to have a great conversation. But before we get into that, wow, you've done a lot of, you do voiceover work, too?
Yes.
George Lucas Company, Hello Dolly, Xbox. Wow.
I started in voiceovers, actually. I've always been a musician. I did R&B and hip-hop music starting out before my path led me to the kiddos, which I still do R&B and hip-hop music. It just happens to be for kids now. But, yeah, I started by doing voiceovers. I'm from the Bay Area, and that Silicon Valley, that's the place for the video game world, and especially when I was starting out. So, yeah, that's where it all started.
Wow, I'm headed to Silicon Valley tonight. I'm going to San Jose for the Stanley Cup Final on Sunday.
How fun. Wow, we have a lot of exciting sports things happening in the Bay.
That's right.
Warriors. Ooh.
Oh, yeah. I have a sports show, too, so forgive me. Who won yesterday?
I'll forgive you now because I just met you. The Warriors.
Yeah. They're up 3-0 now. Wow. What a...
We lost once, but...
you did?
Yes.
Oh,
you got to give them something to feel good about.
Oh, that must have been the fourth. that must have been the fourth game last night. Then, okay, yeah, but they are a fantastic team.
My gosh, right?
Oh,
amazing.
There's no doubt. Are you a San Jose Shark fan?
Yes, I am. Although I didn't grow up as much with watching that particular sport, but hey, I'm very proud to be from the Bay. Let's just put it that way. There's something in the water.
Yeah, there's no doubt. And San Jose, they still have a chance. Game 6 tomorrow. If they win on home ice, they're back to Pittsburgh. And anything can happen in Game 7, which is the final game. So pretty impressive. I mean, Fisher-Price, you've done stuff for and you also tell us about your experience with First Lady Michelle Obama.
Oh, Oh, my gosh. Well, that was incredible. I tell you, I got to go to the White House 2015. That was for the White House Easter egg roll. Couldn't believe it. They asked me to come and read a story, and it ended up that I got to turn the pages for the First Lady while she read her story. It was just incredible because I've been, reading stories and sharing moments with kiddos for a long time. So that was really special. And then this year I was invited back again, and this time I got to meet the president as well, which was amazing.
Wow.
So yeah, the last year I went there as myself, not in my Choo Choo character. And this year I said, hey, would you like me to come in character? And I came. That was an interesting call, calling Disney. Do you mind if I go to the White House as Choo Choo Soul? I was like, no.
That is too funny.
Yeah, so it was just incredible. I mean, it's like meeting friends. We walk in super nervous, and they kind of shake off your nerves, and they say, oh, come here. Big old hug, 2 arms.
Oh, wow.
That kind of hug where they mean it, and it's just, I'll cherish it forever. It's amazing.
Wow. So you went to the White House, probably a lot of Secret Service all around, I suspect?
Oh, it is amazing. Yeah. You're walking with someone who looks like they just, that they are driving a minivan around and going to soccer practice, and it looks like they just left the Eddie Bauer store. You have no idea. They are strapped underneath their vest.
Wow.
It is just, it's very discreet, but very safe.
Now, did you get to have any meals there, lunch or dinner or anything?
Yeah, they had a whole little VIP tent set up with all this great food, healthy food too, by the way.
Oh,
It was
nice.
pretty cool. Yeah, it was amazing. I mean, if you can even find your hunger. I mean, I was just kind of like walking on a cloud the whole time. It's pretty amazing.
That's got to be one of the highlights of your, I was going to say career, but really life.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, both of those, which is kind of like mixed. I kind of have the whole career and life is really blended in my mind right now because I live as this person all the time. So, yeah, but it was absolutely incredible. And, it's so cool for the kids that watch me to see that, to see that I've made it that far. And like I always say, that I could make it all the way here and I never showed any skin on the way.
That is so cool. I got to tell you. Let's talk a little, let's get into the concert that's coming up, and then we'll get back to other things. But Saturday, June 25th, you're going to have a concert in, where is that, Hartford, Connecticut?
Yes, Hartford, Connecticut, yes.
And you're going to have one at, 1 p.m., and then you're going to have a sensory-friendly performance at 10 a.m. for those friends who are diagnosed with autism spectrum disorder. How did you get into that? And you and Kim probably could talk a little bit about these things, but how did you come up with doing
I'm so excited to hear this. I'm so curious what your inspiration was for this.
Well, and it's really great. And the folks at the Bushnell, they brought up this idea, and which I just think is so wonderful. And it's very in our world of human beings. Autism is new to all of us. I'm sure, as you can speak to, and just the things can be so overwhelming for kids. And I have for kids on the spectrum, and I have so many fans and family friends, with autistic children in their family that have come to love my music and my voice, and there's just something there, a connection that I've been, wanting to explore and nurture as much as possible. And you can see, they're kids. They want to have fun. It's like so often people that don't understand autism, they want to kind of just, point at it, put a title on it, and say, oh, they, But I'm here to say, these are kids that want to have fun, that love music. So let's give it to them in the way that is comfortable for them to receive it.
That's amazing. I just want to seriously thank you from the bottom of my heart for for recognizing that and for offering these children and their families an opportunity, like you said, for them to be kids and have fun. And also, gosh, if you only knew what it meant for the families to be able to have a safe, comfortable place to take their children without the fear of judgment or worry, about how they're going to behave. Families do not have that opportunity very often. And so you're really providing something so rare that could be one of, a family's maybe only memory of a family outing together, because at this point there's not a lot of opportunities where families can go and their children, are accepted and respected, understanding that they have a different, processing, they're processing and modulating sounds and lights and things differently. And for someone to really make the effort to create that experience is phenomenal. And some families, I know some families who have not been able to take their children on a family event of any sort. So you're potentially creating a lifelong memory that may be their only memory, or may inspire others to create more events like this.
Right, that's true. Well, yes. He's going to make me cry over here. But yeah, it's so true. It's so true.
I really appreciate it because I work with so many families who crave this sort of thing. They'd love for their children to enjoy, a concert or just something they can do all together as a family.
Absolutely.
And to actually get out of the house. And so I just personally am so grateful for your heart in doing this and
thank you.
Experience.
It's my pleasure, and I again commend the Bushnell Theater, and I think that I hope more theaters can do this. I mean, if we could go and begin to build on our show when we tour with Choo Soul, or with my own brand, which is called Do You Know? Do You Know, with a question mark. Basically, it's my brand for all of my educational music. But if we, could do that more often, just add an extra show on, I think that would be great. And also, this is not to say that everyone is not welcome at this show at 10 a.m. It's going to be a lesser volume of the music and a lesser intensity of the lighting, and probably less of us running out into the crowd. And other than that, it's still a wonderful concert that's fun for everyone.
Well, I like what I read on, about this particular concert. And I know Kim and both of you can comment on that, but like you just said, lower sound level, especially for startling or loud sounds, because right on the spectrum, that's disturbing, isn't it?
Well, it's startling, and the thing is, their brains process sensory information differently than we do. So something that might be a tolerable, or what we might even consider a normal volume, or sensory input, can be actually even painful depending on their senses. Like they process I know some children are hyposensitive, meaning they need like a lot extra of something to really process it, like even pain. Like they don't process pain the same way. But then there's the hypersensitive, where certain types of lighting or certain tones and frequencies actually are processed in the brain as pain. So it's difficult. You can imagine if your child is sensitive in those ways, it's really hard to be out in the world doing activities like concerts and things, because there's so much input, to take in. And so modulating and making those adjustments that you guys are making is going to make it so much easier for them to have less anxiety. I mean, the children are used to getting out into the world and automatically being very anxious. So to have their senses calmer like that, they can actually enjoy your music and not have that anxiety component that the stimulation would be, providing. So I'm just I think it's going to be wonderful. The children are just going to be so happy. Just to enjoy.
I'm excited. And even for any child, we call it the Santa Claus effect. It looks like when we do a meet and greet, it's like one in every, I'd say 15 kids is just like, whoa, freaked out by us being like huge and not in the television and just loud and, heavy steps, like, hey, how are you? Especially I'm on 10 when I'm like in character, so.
What I also like, it says patrons are free to talk and leave their seats during the performance, and that's remarkable. I mean, as a performer, I suspect a lot of performers well, they would like the audience just to watch, and
Right.
and not leave it. Some performers might take it personal or whatever, but this is remarkable, and it shows you as an amazing human being to allow this for the freedom, for the joy of kids, and you want to, Kim, you want to comment on what that does if you're free to talk and leave? They can be themselves and enjoy the music, right?
Well, honestly, what that's going to do is lower the stress level overall for the parents, which will lower the stress level for the children, because really parents are always concerned, oh no, my child needs to, behave in a certain way and sit still and not talk and disrupt it for others. And it causes just this incredible stress for parents, which then, of course, is just transferred. The energy of it all is transferred to the child. And so by giving that freedom, that mindset for the parents that, hey, just be who you need, be who you are, do what you need to do.
Right.
Gosh, they don't get that opportunity. I mean, in the real world, whether it's going to the grocery store, they don't have that
Right.
opportunity to just feel relaxed and say,
Right.
okay, if my child needs to get up and jump around, this is,
Right.
they're going to be able to. So,
Right, exactly. And just like you said, it's just the everyday stresses of just, the extra things that a family needs to think about that they shouldn't have to think about. It's like, okay, what are we going to do? What are people going to think? Oh, I need to apologize to everyone for, just all of that stuff. It's like, let's just not worry about that for an hour and a half.
So, I'm going to call this the therapeutic concert.
There you go.
I mean, so what you do is much more than being a performer. You change lives. Have you ever thought of it that way?
Wow. I sometimes do. I mean, I don't want to go. If I go too far, then I'm just like, whoa, the pressure. But yeah, I do believe it because I've been, like I said, I've been doing this for 10 years now. So there's times that some grown adult will walk up to me and be like, I watched you when I was little. And I'll say, oh my gosh, don't say that so loud. No, but, when you think about these things, and it's a beautiful responsibility that I take with pride. I think there's just so much going on in this world. There's so much for kids to see. I mean, even adults, even like me, I'll get caught watching a reality show and suddenly I'm like, I need some new clothes. I think I need to change my makeup. I'm just like, oh my gosh, what this is doing to me. Imagine what it's doing to an impressionable child who's, comparing themselves to all these people and having all these worries because there's just so much to see and take in. So, and that motivates me just to make, cool content that's just really good. I mean, I feel that I was given a gift and I've been nurturing it to kind of learn even more about what it is I'm supposed to do. But yeah, I would hope I can change a couple lives or at least help them along,
What is it about kids that really is so special to you?
Oh, my goodness. Well, they're so honest. I mean, it's just, that is really what they are feeling. You will know it. It's like, if they like it, you will know it. And if they don't, you will certainly know it too. And they don't care who you're dating or how much you weigh. It's just, is it good? Does it make me want to shake my diaper or not?
That's really insightful. That is really a cool way to look at it. And there's sadly there's a lot of parents that I guess don't see it that way. And I think you're, by helping kids, helping parents look at kids differently.
True. And it's interesting. It's just as much for the parents because if a kid likes something, they want to hear it over and over again. So, it's for kids, but you really become a part of the family. And I feel like, parents probably go through that thing. I'm not a parent yet. Hopefully soon. We'll see. But I know, just got married in November, so that's
congratulations.
Exciting. Thank you.
Excellent. It must be a special guy because you're very special.
He's very special. And so I just think, just because you become a parent of a toddler does not mean that you suddenly love hearing Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star every day. It's like they're still them. you are still you, the person you are. So the music that I do, we don't sing down to the kids, which is, I think, kind of part of the formula of why we've lasted so long, is because, my approach is not like, hey, little kids, let's brush our teeth. My approach is like, I'm going to brush my teeth, and all my friends brush our teeth, so you can do whatever you want, but that's what I'm going to do. That's kind of like my approach, which, works just as well, I think, if not better. So.
Oh, yeah. Kids like to mirror and match.
They sure do.
Definitely. There's no doubt. And so do adults, too, that, if on an unconscious level. But getting back a little bit to this concert, it says there's going to be space throughout the theater for standing and movement. And Kim, that seems important, too. Again, probably especially, partly for the parents.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. Well, I think it's great, too. I mean, again, aside from just the stress level, which I think is the number one thing, because kids react to their parents' energies and things like that. But for the motion, individuals with autism, sometimes they need to move sometimes to actually process what it is they're experiencing. Mm-hmm. So for them to have the freedom to move their bodies or dance or just express their feelings through movement, I mean, it's going to be such a special experience for them, something that's going to be very memorable.
Yeah, and that's the best too, is just to know, and I'm sure we'll know, because it is a very specialized show. Like I said, everyone is welcome, and you're not going to get a different, concert as far as our performance, and we'll still have a meet and greet after as well. So everyone's welcome to come. But I'm just thinking that there may be a little more room, throughout the show. Once the show's been going for about maybe 10, 15 minutes, you'll know which seats are taken, and it will probably space people out, or just allow, if you're listening to this and you'll be at the show and 10 minutes in you see there's an empty row, I mean, I'm telling you, you may move to that row if you want to.
Excellent. And, and here's something that I thought was really cool. A designated quiet area within the theater lobby spaces and staffed with autism specialists. Now, how did you go about getting some of the specialists? And did, I wonder who's coordinating that?
Yeah, so that is with the theater. That's through the Bushnell Theater. And they are very progressive in this regard. And so I encourage everybody to look into the other shows and awareness activities that they have, because they're very progressive in this. And I just love it. I think this should be the beginning of something really great.
I think so. And Kim can address this, right? The diagnosis is, I guess, has gone really, it's a lot more common, I should say, than it was. And
yeah, there's better diagnostic, more accurate diagnostic tools and things. But yeah, at this point, in 2016, it's 1 in 68 children, that will be diagnosed with autism. And most of those are boys.
Whoa.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, boys are 4.5 times more likely to be diagnosed with autism than girls.
That's pretty significant. And another thing I just wanted to mention, it's the staff and the volunteers are trained to be inviting and accommodating to families' needs. Kim, how important is that that they have this awareness? Because I know you have been. I remember long ago when many of your
almost
clients
20
have,
years now.
taken right in public, and but you're always so natural. You feel comfortable, which translates to your client, but the public sometimes doesn't understand.
Yeah, the public doesn't understand sometimes, which makes sense. I mean, you don't understand because it's something different you're not used to. But I think that it's just important, and I know we talked about this in the beginning of the show, but you have to remember they're children first. They're children who are happy and have emotions and excitement, and sometimes they may get overwhelmed. And having a quiet room, I think, is a great idea because, you know, some children, even with the wonderful accommodations the theater is making, it still might be a little bit overwhelming for them, and that's okay. You know, I think it's all about the attitude people go in, and obviously, Genevieve, you have an amazing attitude and amazing heart, and I think that's the most important thing. And I think when people see that approach with addressing children with or without, you know, some kind of challenge, that's what people appreciate. I kind of remind myself, even over the years too, like, you know, how would I want someone to interact with me if I had some sort of challenge, you know, emotionally or physically? And I think you just have to be that person you would want to be interacting with you. And obviously, Genevieve, you have that. That's a natural gift that you have, you know, in terms of that caring. So I'm just I'm just grateful for you just doing this. I can't tell you how many, just if you could only know, over 20 years of all the families who have prayed for something like this to happen. It's an answered prayer for so many people. So I'm just so grateful you're participating.
Well, thank you. And I hope that we can do more and more of this. And, you know, again, as awareness grows, I feel like it's like anyone, just like they say, somebody's a bully because they are unhappy inside, or, you know, somebody's staring at something because they've never seen it before. You know, it's really about, and like we always talk about autism awareness, that's really, you know, what's important here. And, you know, for parents to talk to their kids about, you know, how people are different. And, you know, it's a growing awareness, which is good. And just the more we talk about it and embrace it, the more we can understand, you know, just try to understand, at least, that for, you know, other kids and people who might not understand. It's a process for all of us.
I was just curious, have you had like some interactive experience with children on the spectrum that you're aware of? I mean, sometimes we don't know actually if a child's on the spectrum, but have you had some one-on-one contact with children?
Definitely.
Oh, good.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And I have a lot of families that I stay in touch with, and through social media. Social media has been great just for connecting on so many levels. And what's interesting with social media, I've kind of broken it down from my perspective, where it's like Instagram is kind of the beautiful people, Twitter is the funny, snarky people, and Facebook's the emotional people. So it's interesting that that's where my fan base is on Facebook, because it's the families and, you know, and the moms and the space to express yourselves in more than a photo and more than 140 characters.
Yeah,
so
right.
I've gotten to know people, you know, as much as possible through their posts, and where they tell me, you know, my child is autistic but has sung to your songs, like won't talk but will sang the ABCs with you, you know, where it's just like, oh my gosh, this is huge. And, you know, I think repetition and rhythm and beat, you know, it's very, there's something in there, you know, that I would like to continue to you know, to check out. But I have, and I do try personally, if I'm in touch with a family whose member is autistic, I try to set up a special meet and greet that's off to the side, so they don't have to do the whole group thing. And
that's wonderful.
You know, I'm happy
you.
to just sit there. They'll pull off my hat and go for the face. I just let it happen because I think it's so cool. I'm like, I'm kind of a living art piece for you right now to just check out.
That is really cool. And so let's remind everyone, Saturday, June 25th, concert, 10 a.m. for friends who are diagnosed with autism spectrum disorder. There's another one at 1 o'clock. And that's for any audience, I suspect. And Hartford, Connecticut. How do they get tickets? How do they?
You can go to the Bushnell's website. You can also check out on my Facebook page. If you go to Facebook and look Genevieve Goings, pretty sure I'm the only one with that name. And
Yes,
you'll find me there. You also can look at the Choo Soul Facebook page, so we have links up there as well. Yeah, it's going to be
Wow,
great. I'm really looking
exciting.
forward to seeing everyone, and yeah, I also check my social media outlets as well. So if you have questions, you can message me there.
And you have an album. It's Do You Know, right? That's your.
It is, yes. It's called Do You Know, and it's I wrote that album as, and being in this business, it's amazing that I've been on Disney for 10 years. It's sort of unheard of. It was this little album that we made about trains with this cool, soulful music, and Disney decided to make 5 videos, and that was 10 years ago.
Wow.
I think the response was so great, and they keep airing because, as Disney says, people love them still. Kids love trains, they love in the music, and I just became the host of Radio Disney Junior, which is an app. It also has an app out there on the App Store.
Right.
We're going to start doing new videos that I'm going to roll out where I'm going to be teaching some music theory. I mean, that's the scientific way to put it, but it's definitely just tons of fun and games and sing-alongs and things like that. But yes, my own album I put out because you never know how long the big boss man's going to keep you employed.
That's
like,
right.
I need to make sure I'm still solidified in this kids market where I belong. So I made this album. It's got 15 tracks. I wrote it completely based on parents' requests. So I just put it out there. I said, tell me what you want your kids to learn, and I will write the song. So number 1 was a potty song, so I was like, I have to do it. So that song is called Gotta Do My Business. Hilarious. I've got a song teaching them their telephone number, making sure they memorize it. I guarantee that, by the way.
Oh.
I've got sleeping in your own bed, using your inside voice, being clean, how to tie a tie, and telling time. There's a lot of fun stuff on there, so
cool.
Highly recommend that one.
I love it.
And I've listened to some of those.
Yay!
They're good. It was catchy tunes, very easy to listen to. So how do they get that? Give out all your contact stuff so people can know how to get in touch with you and get these wonderful products.
Perfect. Well, and I know my name's a little tricky to spell. Genevieve Goings, so you can go to GenevieveGoings.com. Again, on Facebook, you can look up my name again, Genevieve, Genevieve. Goings, like, going to teach your kids something with an S.
And when you get married, what's it going to be? Oh, no, you are married. I forgot.
I am married, I know. And see, my personal, so his last name is Gums, Gums. So it's funny. He's like, I'm sorry, babe, it's a funny last name. I'm like, my name's already Going. We're a match made in funny heaven.
That's right. That's
so
too cool.
Yeah, but I'm keeping my name for this, for this whole thing.
We so appreciate you coming on, Genevieve.
Oh, I appreciate you too. Thank you so much.
And we'll have you on again because I wanted to have time to talk about your last name, what some comments you've had over the years, but we'll have to do that another time.
Yes, there's plenty of time, and maybe we can circle back, all 3 of us, and I can let you know how the show went.
Oh, that'd be great. We will definitely do that. We will do that.
Good stuff. And I think we'll be out in, which city are you in?
We're in Phoenix.
Phoenix, yeah. I think I'll be out that way again soon.
Oh, we'll have you in studio.
Perfect.
Oh, absolutely.
Sounds like a plan. All right, well, have fun. I hope what everyone can take away from this is kids are kids and they want to have fun. So I'm going to do my best.
You're wonderful. It was so nice talking with you.
Thank you, Genevieve
Okay.
Goings.